Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 605 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. It's good to be with you. I'm excited for this episode because it's one of those that, in my opinion, if you apply it in your life, it shows you how to get out ahead of things and how to stay ready rather than always playing catch up. And also, it may answer a question you have of why lucky things happen to other people and not you. Sometimes it's about luck, but most of the time, it's about a lot more than that. So I've talked about this, our online architectural drawing course that I've been doing, and I love it so much. Well, there's a section in this course that is hand drafting. Now, I don't know if you're an architect or if you're a designer or if you know one, but this is where you have lots of details, like little details, lots of tiny lines, lots of numbers and measuring and remeasuring. Let's just say there's a lot of detail, and that has not been my strong suit. I like big picture stuff, so the details can get sort of maddening to me. So when I got to that section, I found myself talking myself out of doing it, saying, oh, I learned that in college. I know how to do it already, even though it's been years and I would not have felt comfortable doing it for a project at the time that I was telling myself that. I still tried to talk myself out of it. But then I was like, you know what? Doing the hard stuff, doing the stuff nobody else wants to do, being prepared before you even need it, that's what makes it possible to say yes when that project comes up. I actually told myself that I'm going to do this. And you know what? I know that I'm going to use it. I know there will be a project that comes up in the next probably few weeks that where I need this. So I did it, and it was surprisingly fun. And yeah, I remembered a lot of what we were doing, but it also showed me I can do it. And it helped tremendously to be able to get that intimate with a project where you know every single inch of it. That's what hand drafting does to me. It's a beautiful thing in design. And I kid you not, 1 week later, a contractor called me for a kitchen renovation where they really needed visualization before they got too deep into it. And they had no idea where to go with the kitchen, but wanted to see it kind of drawn and sketched. Exactly what I had been practicing in the course for the last few months. So I excitedly said absolutely, knowing that I had the tools to nail it. And I went in confident. I took the measurements and I basically popped out 2 different layouts that were both lovely for them to choose from. And they were drawn so that they could visually see what the finished product would look like. And it was drawn to scale so that they were able to say, oh, okay, so this would be here and this would be here. And I'll be like, yep, that's exactly how that would be. And that's exactly how it would look. And I was also able to sketch with some color to show them what my idea would be for the project, which is basically what I do in my world. But sometimes I don't have to do that part because I'm working with maybe the cabinet people who have already done the sketch, that kind of thing. But this was not the case here. I actually needed to show them that. Now, I'm telling you this because had I not done the drafting part of that course, I would still have met with the client, but I would not have been as confident. I would have been hesitant to offer drawings knowing that I was kind of stale at it. But instead, I nailed it because I prepared and learned the skill before I even needed it. Now, some might call that the law of attraction, which I tend to believe in. Others might call it preparation meets timing. Whatever you call it, when you learn a new skill that you've been dying to learn, or just kind of really upcharge the skill that you already have, or maybe you're taking a course that you've been dying to take, or read a book that advances your skill in a certain area. You're telling your brain, hey, this matters a lot. Your brain has a built-in filter called RAS, which is reticular activating system, and it's your personal radar for what matters the most to you. Now, when you practice something, even when it's annoying, you mark that as important. And suddenly your brain starts flagging opportunities that match. So think about it this way. Have you ever decided you wanted to buy a red car and all of a sudden you see red cars everywhere? But then you decide on the actual model that you want. So I want a red Range Rover. You're going to start seeing red Range Rovers everywhere. And you think that's weird. Like, I never realized there were so many of those. I never really saw them like that before. But they were always there. They just never came into your radar, so to speak. And now they do, because you've decided that's important to you. So you're seeing them everywhere. You see, the contractor didn't really call me out of the blue. He called me because I had just proven to myself I could deliver what his client needed. Opportunity match. And together we nailed it because I was prepared in advance, knowing the opportunity would show up eventually. I was just developing skills before I needed them so that when I did need them, I was able to meet the moment. So I like to think, I'm staring at trees, and this is why this thought just came to me. I like to think about trees in my design. But trees don't sit around wishing for deep roots. They actually grow them in the dark, in the dirt, season after season when no one's watching. Then when that storm hits, and the tree that invested in all of those roots, it's able to stand tall while the others may snap. Those boring skills that you're creating and that you're working on, those are those roots. So hand drafting, learning contracts, nailing interview prep, grow those roots quietly. The storm's going to show up, and when it does, you're going to be ready. That's why those who study, who live and breathe their craft, seem like the lucky ones, when in reality, they're attracting and they're matching to opportunities because they're ready. See, success isn't mystical. It's really readiness plus reputation plus timing. And you control two of those things. That Hollywood line of build it and they will come, there is something to it, but it isn't about blind faith. It's about building the skill before anyone needs it from you. The client, the contract, the life you want, they don't show up until the roots are there. So what do? Well, you could pick one skill that you're intrigued with, but have maybe been dodging. Mine was hand drafting. Yours might be pricing or systems or learning to sell without apologizing. I don't know. Pick one and give it 3 hours this week. It doesn't have to be 30 hours, just 3. And then tell one person you're doing it. Say it out loud. Maybe post about it, whatever you're comfortable with. That is when the magic starts, is when you're actually preparing, when you actually are prepared. So that's my challenge to you today. Pick one thing you've been quietly wanting to learn and learn it. The worst thing that can happen is you've added to your talent stack. You've made yourself better. That's the worst, and I'll take that. But my guess is the action and the activities you put into play by taking up that skill will snowball into a whole new opportunity match, the one that is exactly right for you, the one that leads to your version of a wildly successful life on your terms. And I love that for you. Share this with 3 people who have big dreams. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.